I'm dying to know a little bit about your role. I've heard about it. It's so dramatic and it's so dark. Tell me how you go from a comedy to playing a role like this.
Well, I think any actor, if you ask almost any actor, they're most excited about doing a lot of different stuff over the span of their career. One of my personal heroes is Andre Braugher. And if you think about the stuff that he's done in his career, like starting out in films like Glory and then coming to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like he's done so many different facets of the art form. That's personally what I'm interested in doing. I'm interested in exploring all sides of myself as a human being. I think we're all really multifaceted, and I was really excited to play something that was completely different than what I had been doing for the last 3 years.
Now, what genre do you see yourself doing next?
I don't know. I mean, we're lucky enough that Brooklyn Nine-Nine has gotten a 5th season. We're in the middle of shooting that now. And I have a romantic comedy that's kind of coming out in February. It's written and directed by Heather Graham, and she also stars in it. It's myself, Heather, and Angela Kinsey from The Office. And it's like, I would describe it as like those like raunchy buddy movies, but like with women in the leads. Finally, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not limiting myself ever, I don't think.
And how do you transition? So you're going from a comedy to a dark film, as to now you're going to do a romantic comedy. How do you transition from those roles? Like, does it take mental preparation to do all of that? Do you really engage into those roles?
Yeah, you study your script. Like, number one, that's the Bible, is like the world of the script that you're living in. And then you just adjust, like, where your focus is. Like, it's sort of like, you can read like 3 books at once and sort of have all those stories going on at once. It's the same thing. You can split your brain up and like be reading a horror novel and then at the same time reading like a stupid beachy romance, and at the same time maybe you're on the side you're reading like a self-help book. It's like all those things can happen at once. You just gotta focus on the thing at hand.
Now there's a rape scene in this film, so tell me, how does one prepare for something like that?
I mean, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can. It's a weird thing to shoot. I mean, sex scenes, period, are a weird thing to shoot. Number one, it's weird having sex. Yeah. Especially for the first time with somebody. It's like, I don't know what your body does and that. And then, so on top of the sort of a sex scene is like, there's other people in the room, right? And there's like weird stuff, like you gotta turn this way for the lighting and whatever. And then, so then you add onto that, like now you're adding on like a violent act, right? One where you're not in control at all, at least the character's not. So I think it depends on the director to handle it really carefully, and I think Jessica Thompson did an amazing job at that. They actually blocked out the scene like you would a fight. Like everybody knew where your body was supposed to be at one moment. There was a lot of trust between me and the actor that's playing the rapist. Just a lot of trust on set in general. But I don't know if you can really... You can sort of like be ready for it and know you're blocking and know where you're supposed to be and know what your body's supposed to do. But it's really strange. It's really strange to be like, in this movie, it's like I'm pressed up against a wall and it's like it's pretty violent. And so like, I don't know. I'm interested to see how audiences respond to it.
I'm actually interested in knowing about the Latina lead role. Now, is that something that was just written in there? Is that a huge major part of your character, or is it just like that's just her ethnicity? That's what she is.
I mean, I think it's a major part in that, like, I think that you're also Latina.
I am.
So, I think for us it's a major part of who we are, but also it's not at the forefront of our lips in every conversation. But it is like sort of, laced into the fabric of who we are as a human being. What I was really excited about was 2 pages into this script. It said, Bonnie, 30s, an architect, Latina. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see that. I can't believe it's on the page. And then I sort of flipped through the script and I was like, is she going to what's the payoff here? Is it going to be something weird? Yeah. And it wasn't. It was simply that Jessica wanted, number one, she wanted a woman of color as her lead in the movie. She knew that to start. And as she started writing, she narrowed it down to that she wanted to be a Latina. And I think that that's an incredible thing. I think that there needs to be more of that in all shapes and forms and cultures. Like, I'm excited to see Afro-Latinas come to the forefront on their own in film and television. I'm excited to see more people that identify as Latinx in all sorts of roles and playing things that people aren't used to seeing them play. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I appreciate it so much for Latinos on the Rise. Thank you for representing us. You're awesome. You're amazing. I can't wait to see the film. Thank you so much, Stephanie. So great. And thank you for being patient. She was so patient.
Of course.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I
So nice to meet both of you
Yeah, it
guys.
was nice to meet you too. I wish you the best, as I'm sure I will. That's another. Thank you.